Hey Oakham students, Ben Asman here. I know, what happened to my hair? Don't worry, it'll be back next video. As for right now, we're doing day 2 of the Grignard reaction. Let's get to it. Day 2 of the Grignard reaction. Now, I'm going to show this first because it's really important, but in reality, you do it when you have some time. What we want to do is clean out any remaining magnesium from the round bottom or the stir bar. Now, concentrated acid is not your friend, so you want to wear gloves. And if you spill it, there's sodium carbonate to neutralize it at any sink. I'm also going to grab a little DI water for a rinse for later. You want to do this in the hood so you don't breathe in any of the acid vapors. We're going to need about 2 to 3 pipettes worth into the round bottom, swirl it around. Very nice. Get it all over into that stir bar. Dump that into acidic waste. Make sure you don't lose your stir bar. Rinse that with some water. Swirl, dump, rinse more, swirl, dump, and then you can wash it just as normal. If you forget to do this before you leave today, it will screw up your next experiment. Now, depending on where you finished last time, you could be at any one of these steps. Step 0 is only if you forgot to remove the drying agent or you forgot to dry it altogether, at which point you're going to dry it and then transfer it to a clean Alumire. Otherwise, step 1 is to transfer your product into a conical vial and rinse any remaining product, transfer that as well. Step 2 is to remove the ether that you just used to transfer the things in step 1. Step 3 is the actual simple distillation that you're going to do, and then you're going to put that into a vial that you're going to turn in. Now, assuming that you got everything done you were supposed to last time, it should look something like this: a thin oil, maybe a bit yellowish, maybe a bit clear, aka step 1. If you are at step 0, you forgot the drying agent in it, it might look something like this. You're going to have to remove it with some ether, but I'm going to continue from step 1. And to do that, I'm going to have to get this into here. I'm going to need some ether for a rinse. I have here a little Alumire filled. Aw, any cute. Going to grab myself a pipette over what I can, and then use the ether. Pop. Rinse that in. Use my pipette to pipette it around so that I get all of it, and then transfer that as well. Oop, lost a little there. And I'm going to stick this directly into the sand bath. Don't worry, it's stable enough in there, it's not going to fall. Next, we're going to add just a few grains of potassium carbonate. It's both a drying agent and it prevents a side reaction from happening here. I'm going to let you figure out what that one is for yourself. I'm also going to need a thermometer, so I'm going to grab a rubber thermometer adapter, twist that on, twist, and then clamp that way too high, nice and tight, all 3 prongs on, adjust the position, and then now lower it into the sand bath. I want it, as always, with just a little bit of the blue showing. Can't really see it here, but we'll move some sand around to make it work, and let's get that heating. We're also going to need a spin vane. Point down, please, and get that stirring. Make sure that it is centered in the middle of the hot plate, forward, back, left, right, otherwise it will not spin properly. Now, boiling off the ether will take several minutes. You're going to want the temperature above the boiling point of ether, so above 35, and below the boiling point of your product, so below 144, ideally below 100, just to be safe. Now, the only indicator that you're going to have that you actually finished is if you're in the right temperature range and it's not boiling. You're probably going to have to stop the stirring for a bit to see if it's not boiling. Let's take a look. Yep, not boiling. And we're in the correct temperature. Okay, we're going to pull that out gingerly. Don't burn yourself. Put that aside for a moment. So now that we have this boiled out, we are going to move on to step 2 and grab a Hickman distilling head, a cap with a hole, slip that on, an O-ring. Make sure you pass that little lip. Make sure it's nice and tight. And now we can fasten it and screw that on. So we're going to put that aside for one moment. This we do want to clamp because it will fall over. Now notice I'm clamping the top piece. We have connected the two. Normally you connect the bottommost piece, but because we connected the two together, we can clamp the top piece, lower this in the sand nice and deep, and rearrange the sand if needed. Once again, make sure it's centered, forward, back, left, right. You do not need the thermometer on the top, but you will need some foil. Make sure it's a nice big piece, folded over so it's nice and thick. We're going to flatten it, thunk, and now cut off a little strip through the middle. Okay, and we're going to cut a notch, just rip a notch right into there, and we don't need that. And we'll just scooch this over and press it down around. This will make sure we trap the heat without melting our cap. Now, You notice I don't actually need the thermometer here. I'm just leaving this open. We want to leave that easily accessible. And we want to now get above the boiling point of our compound. So above 144, let's keep it below 200. And as always, the secret to any distillation is you want the bottom hot and the top piece cool, well, relativistically. And the only way you can know that is by touching it. Now, I also will need a 9-inch pipette, nice and long, make sure it's not broken. And we will also need a pre-weighed vial. Now, this does take a good long time, and it's a little hard to see because the refractive index of our compound is pretty similar, but you can see a little bit of reflux happening in the tube there. Yep, and we can also now feel that it's getting warmer. The other thing is it helps getting down to this angle to actually see it. Now I'm going to stick my pipette in there and grab some and add it to my vial. This will happen a few times. It will fill up and empty until we are done. Okay, not bad. Put that aside and we'll let this distill over some more. Okay, it's all full now. Let's grab a little bit more. Let's get a little bit of a different view on this too. So you can see I am grabbing my pipette. I'm sticking in through the top and I am sucking out some of the product. Now I got a good amount of product. If you get less than this, don't worry, it happens. This is the hardest reaction that you're ever going to do, and it's very, very fickle. Okay, it's not coming over anymore. Let's check if it's done. We'll grab this foil and remove it. And yeah, there's nothing really left in there. So we can turn off the heat and the stirring and pull out our apparatus and our thermometer. Now what it looks like is we just have a brown sludge at the bottom. This is all the impurities we don't want. And now we're going to take our product, which looks nice and clear and pure. Oh, isn't that nice? And we're going to do some testing with it. So this here is our refractive index machine. There's a few components here. There's the thermometer here, and temperature is important. Over here on the right, there is the actual knob that controls the position inside. Here on the left is a switch. Up is off. That's where you leave it when you're done. Middle is outer light on, and holding it down is inner light on. We'll see that in a moment. Now, for us right now, we're going to lower our light. We can turn that off, and we're going to open it up. See here, there's a pair of crystals. Also, make sure this door is closed. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to take a measurement. These crystals are calibrated so that you can take a measurement directly. In general, they measure how the light's angle changes as you pass from one medium to another, just like if you had a straw through water, see it kind of broken, and then you see this kind of thing. So we have here our vial of product. It has been weighed already, so we know how much we got. We're going to need enough to cover this. That's going to be 3 to 5 drops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to really kind of cover that as much as possible. It really only takes 1 drop minimum, but you kind of need more than that to make it easy. And then we're going to close this, make sure that this is nice and covered. You see that crystal here is completely covered. And then we can raise our light source and turn it on and look through this eyepiece. Looking into our eyepiece right here. Lovely. If we now focus in on that, we can see a dark horizon. What our goal is to move our knob here from the right up and down to move that dark horizon. And our goal is to get it perfectly in the middle, right there. Lovely. Once we have that, we will press down on the turn off the outer light, turn on the inner light. And here we go, our ruler. You're going to read this. This is going to be your number. Now that you're done, turn it off, bring that down, open this up, wipe, wipe, wipe. These are Kim wipes, or Chem wipes. Okay, spray, 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 spray. Wipe, 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 wipe. Close. You're done. Don't forget to record the temperature. Here's the formula that you use to correct for the temperature. This will not be always given, but you do have to do it all the time. That's it. You're done.